decided I'm going to play with kale. I couldn't decide if I wanted a massaged kale salad or kale chips. So I decided it's really the same recipe. It just depends on how you want to eat it. So I'm going to make what would be a massaged kale Greek salad, but I'm going to turn it into kale chips. And so depending on what you want to do, you can use the same exact recipe. You'll add some things if you're going to do a salad. So I'm using a high-speed blender. You could also use a food processor. And I decided, because it's Greek, I want a hummus flavor. So the first thing I'm going to do is use some garbanzo beans or chickpeas, depending on where you live. I don't need this whole can, and so I'm going to pour it into a jar here and then just scoop out what I want. I only want about 1/4 to 1/2 cup of chickpeas. Now, anytime you buy beans, make sure they're organic. If they're not organic, they have been sprayed. And even if they are organic, maybe they have been. I don't know all of the rules, but I know if they're not organic, they definitely have been sprayed. They spray them so they dry quickly so that when they harvest them, it doesn't gunk up the machinery, and it's just they dry faster. It's a much easier process. So that's why they dry them. So if you're trying to avoid anything like that, buy organic. So I am going to, I always put my liquid in first. I want about 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. You could use lemon juice too. Lemon juice is great. So maybe 1 to 2 lemons, depending on how large they are. I just have 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. When you purchase your apple cider vinegar, make sure you buy one that has the mother. This one is an organic, and it says with the mother. You can see the cloudy part on the bottom. That just means it hasn't been heated to kill all of the natural enzymes that are in there. So this is much better for us than one that's been heated. If it's been heated and pasteurized, then any of those natural substances have been killed, and we're missing out on those important nutrients. Okay, so to that, I'm going to add tahini. Tahini is normally in hummus, and that's going to give us some of that Greek flavor. Now, tahini is made with sesame seeds. This is organic. Sesame seeds is another thing you want to buy organic. And if you have issues with sesame seeds, a lot of people are allergic to them, you could use sun butter. Those are made out of sunflower seeds, or a nut butter if you can have a nut butter. Or you could even just put your own nuts or seeds in here. So I'm going to put about 1/3 cup. Y'all know me, I don't really measure. So about 1/3 cup of tahini. That's going to make it really creamy. So now I can add my beans. So I'm going to put in 1/4 cup of beans, and it's okay if it has some of the juice. The juice is going to actually help with some creaminess there. I usually don't put oil in there. If you do use oil, you could put maybe a tablespoon of oil and drain the beans, but I would rather just use the juice that came with the beans. So now I put it in a glass jar to put it in the refrigerator for later. So to this, I'm going to add some cumin, about 1/2 teaspoon of cumin. Cumin has a lot of health benefits. I can't think of them right now. I'm going to put in garlic. I don't have any fresh garlic, which is shocking. I don't know how. I went ahead and did my meal prep for the week, and I used all of my fresh garlic. So I'm going to put about, let's put 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. I don't know, that's a lot. Probably 2 to 3 garlic cloves. So yeah, I'm going to do 2 teaspoons. I would normally put 2 to 3 garlic cloves in there. And then I'm going to put in some onion powder, 1 teaspoon. I'm going to put in a pinch of red pepper flakes. I'm going to put in a teaspoon of Himalayan salt. And then whenever I think of Greek flavoring, I always think of basil, oregano, thyme. And so I'm definitely going to put some oregano in here. I just dried this from my yard. So at least a teaspoon. And over on the side, I have some dill and black pepper, just in case I think it needs that. I'm going to taste it first. So let me blend it up. If I were making a massaged kale salad, this would be the dressing for the salad. What I'm making is going to be a dressing for the kale, so it could either be a massaged kale salad or kale chips. Okay, I'm just going to dip a piece of kale in there. See what it tastes like. Perfect. Really nice and creamy. Okay, that's delicious. All right, all I have here is 1 head of kale. I ripped the stems off and tore it into about a chip-sized piece. Now, even if I were going to make this into a salad, I would still do the same thing. What we're going to do is pour our dressing. See if I can move this up. Move that out of the way. Pour our dressing onto the leaves. And then I'm going to massage it in. So right now I'm using the spatula just in case I need to reach in there and get some more. Mix it all up. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm making kale chips, and so I'm going to massage this into the kale, put it on my dehydrator trays, and put it in the dehydrator. Now, there's another recipe I made where I made kale chips in the oven, not in the dehydrator. I want to say that's 375 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes. So you can do that. If you eat a raw foods diet, then you don't want to heat your food that high. So if you are doing raw foods, then a dehydrator at 115 degrees for about 4 to 6 hours will work. I'm going to be putting mine in the dehydrator. I am preparing for my Create a Healthier You program, and as a part of that, I've been creating recipes for raw, because during 2 weeks we are going to be doing liver detoxification, and you need to eat a raw foods diet to optimize liver detox during that week. So, massaging it in. I'm going to use my hands in a minute. I just want to make sure I have everything first before I get my hands messy. You could always wear gloves. You want to wear gloves. If I were going to turn this into a salad, then I would massage this in, and then I would add some red bell pepper, some olives, maybe Kalamata olives, since those are Greek, cucumbers, maybe some banana peppers. So just think of things that you see when you have a Greek salad. You would drain these and add the drained chickpeas. That would be a fabulous, nourishing salad. And then I think I would probably top that with pumpkin seeds. So you can see we can have these as a snack, kale chips, or we could turn it into a nourishing salad just by adding some other vegetables. Whenever I put a salad together, I think about the different tastes. If we can meet all of the different taste profiles, then we're going to have wonderful flavor. If we think about, crunchy and soft, all the different textures, then it's also going to be filling as well. So, and the colors, all the colors is going to make sure it's nutritious for us. So we have the green kale, yellow banana peppers, red, it could be red bell pepper, orange, you could put some carrots in there, and we are putting the chickpeas in there. Red, orange, yellow, green is the kale. And olives, the Kalamata olives or black olives, those will give you some other additional colors. And then you have salty from the olives, salty from the dressing, sour from the dressing, the vinegar that's in the dressing. We have crunchy, we put on the pumpkin seeds, we have another texture. So we should meet all the different profiles there. We have tons of protein, not only in the kale, but also in the beans. And then we have a wonderful natural fat in the pumpkin seeds and in the sesame seeds. So that would be a wonderful salad. It's also a wonderful snack. Just the dressing and the kale alone is a delicious snack. Okay, so I think I got all the dressing out that I can get in there. You can see I already got most of the leaves covered here. So now I'm going to get down and dirty. I have my trays. Before I get started, because my hands are going to get messy, I already have my dehydrator trays lined with this Teflex sheet. This is so that the kale doesn't stick to it. So I'm going to stick these in the dehydrator and then it'll come right off very easily, almost like wax paper. If I were going to put this in the oven, I would put parchment paper on baking sheets and then lay them out. And you don't want them to overlap because then they won't get those crispy edges. You want them to be kind of spread out. So that's why I have this many trays. I didn't know how many it would take. So I just grabbed as many as I thought I would need. So I'm going to lay these out. Oh, I didn't massage it in. Hello. Massage it in. If I were going to turn this into a salad for several people, if you've ever worked with greens like this, you know that once you start massaging it or cooking it, it breaks down to not much at all. And so a lot of times when I'm going to make a salad for more than just myself, I will have the kale like this, and then I will add in maybe some romaine, since it's a Greek salad, some romaine or some spinach or some other greens just to fluff it up a little bit more to make sure it's nice and filling for everyone. Now, kale is a cruciferous vegetable, which is wonderful. It has very high amounts of protein and minerals. Wonderful source of chlorophyll, this dark green color. Cruciferous vegetables help with repairing DNA. Anything that we do during the day, no matter what we're doing, like right now, I am working some muscles, so I'm breaking down some cells and I'm creating some waste. And so cruciferous vegetables have things in there that help repair those cells that I'm damaging by just exercising. Even when we digest our foods, we're breaking down things, and so it can help with any of that repair. It also is very anti-cancer and fights tumor cells and things like that. So that's why I really like kale. Most of our greens, especially the dark leafy greens, do have those properties, and we want a large variety because each one offers something different. Collards and kale are really high in iron and in protein. Okay, so I think I've got it coated really well. A lot of times we massage kale because it is kind of a thick leaf, and so for some people it's a little bit too thick. They don't like the feel in their teeth, and so sometimes if I'm making a salad, I'll chop it up even smaller and then massage it in. Just breaking down these cell walls just makes it a little bit easier. Okay, so now I'm going to spread it out on my dehydrator trays. Don't want them to overlap. That sauce is really good. It's a wonderful salad dressing or dressing for our kale chips. I believe my other recipe, my other video, if you go back, I have one that is maybe Mexican. It might be a Mexican ranch sauce. That's also a delicious salad dressing or a kale chip. Okay, so this is all I am going to do. I'm going to load up my trays and then put this in the dehydrator, and then I'll show you what it looks like when they come out. If you make these kale chips or another kind of kale chips, please let me know. Post in the comments, share what you would like to see and learn. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and share with your friends. Make these kale chips and enjoy.